Hello everybody, welcome back to Road to Master. I hope you're all having an amazing day. We're starting off with the white pieces against a 1914, straight into the two knights Caro-Kann. D takes E, all pretty standard stuff, pretty standard stuff. We had a good game yesterday. Ooh, this is interesting. We had a good game yesterday, should have gotten a draw, but time limit got to us. That's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. Bishop G4, I don't think I've seen before. Usually knight takes, queen takes is the way to play it. Bishop G4. Do we play H3 and go into some bishop takes line with a knight F6? Queen D5, knight takes, check. G takes, queen takes, D takes. I think that's fine, right? It's usually the way to sort of play these things. Oh, they decide to trade off. And go knight there. Okay. So this is fine. Usually knight C5 is not good because you have a knight there, potential mate. This works though. And we're just getting kicked out straight away. I say we take this time to just develop a pawn. Get this dark squared bishop some room, I guess. And try to work things out from there. Alternatively, we could play like a bishop c4 so we can drop the queen back to e2 and not blocking your bishop. However, once we move here, it's going to be harder to control the d4 square. Yeah. I vote d4 first. And then potentially even a queen h4. Potentially even a queen h4. I don't mind that at all, to be honest. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, they're going for bishop there, and I would consider a bishop g5. For now, I'm going to play a c3 and just secure this center. We can think about a bishop d3. So if castles, the knight's pinned to the mating threat. I don't think there's any discovers they can really do at the minute. Which is fine by me. So I say we just develop. I don't think this discovered attack with the bishop is doing anything that we immediately need to deal with. You know, we still have like queen e4. If we really need to. You know, queen g3 isn't horrible. Queen g4 as well, not horrible at all. We're not really threatening anything once castles because like bishop f6 works. So we're just trying to find the best square, really. I think it's going to be queen g4. Because if you go back to g3, you're getting kicked out with bishop d6. They go there. That doesn't look right at all. What is the point of that? You're looking for an f5. You're looking for an f5, I guess. I kind of want to push h4, h5. Kind of want to do it. Long castles for them is relatively safe. They do have good control over this dark square diagonal. So that's fair enough. We could long castle ourselves. I don't know if f5 is really that much of a threat. If anything, I think it weakens this e6 square. So I'm not too upset about that. I say bishop d2. h5, again, just seems a bit unnecessary. We've always got queen e2 if we really need to. Queen e4 potentially if they don't go for f5. Yeah, I'm not too upset. This is a bit off theory. They go for the h5 one. And I think we just drop back to e2. There's no need to mess around. We'll long castle. We have great control over the e-file. We can play an f4 if we really want to. As something to think about, at least, controlling some of these pawn pushes. But we don't want to be committing too much, you know, because at the end of the day, we have the bishop pair, so we're a bit more flexible. They go for that. Queen there. Okay. I don't hate it. I think we have Do we have threats with queen e5? We could sack the pawn. We could sack the pawn and go for a castles. Queen takes rook there. Queen up. Oh, and then you go c3, c4. That's insane, right? Castles, queen takes rook there. Only move is queen there. And then you go c4. Oh, knight there. Knight there is a good trick. Knight there, then we go queen e5, right? Knight takes, check. Bishop blocks. And then we've got some... rook takes. Oh, this is so complicated. I love it. King castle. Castles is a move. It's a move. The problem is... we need to stop d6. So c4 is the idea. c4, knight c3. Yeah, no, just queen e5, right? Just queen e5. Queen e5. Knight takes. Takes. Bishop block. Rook takes. Queen takes. Oh, I really want to do it. We could go c4 first. No, we can't. Actually, we could. No, we can't. Actually, we could. I don't know. I don't know. Let's castle. Sure. Let's do it. Let's try it. If it don't work, it don't work. And we tried something cool. That's my thought process anyway. You know, these sacrificing the B pawn is always going to be an idea, especially with short castling. It's always going to be an idea because you're able to get so many tempos out. Like worst case, we could potentially get the B pawn with threats on the bishop and stuff. You know, we have a minimum amount of compensation. They decide not to go for it. They go for c5, which I don't like. Why don't I like? Bishop check for starters. Bishop check loses castling, so we sort of have to throw that in, right? That's going to be devastating for them. If they lose castling rights... we sort of have to throw that in. Check. King there. King d8 doesn't look right. King d8, we're opening up the board immediately, right? King f8. We can think about c4. Oh, but then a6. So we just take, right? Bishop takes. Think about e5. Think about e5. Oh, no. Queen takes. Oh, but then we take that. Oh, this is so cool. We throw in the check. I mean, we throw in the check either way. We have to, right? We're running low on time as well, so we need to get a speed. I don't think a speed is a thing you can get, but never mind. And we can maybe even just go back. I mean, I think we take. I think we take and just drop the bishop back, right? We can think about queen e5. I don't think that concretely works. f6 is a good response after that. f6 is a really good response. Yeah, we just probably drop the bishop back, right? And we still have some ideas with kicking out the queen. We might lose a pawn, but I think getting rid of their castling rights with the bishop pair still on the board. They go queen takes? What? There has to be something wrong with that, right? There's no way there's not something wrong with that. I mean, yeah, b4, right? Oh, b4 knight takes. Takes? Knight takes check. Bishop takes. Yeah, b4's good. b4's good. And then c4. Kicking the knight again. It depends where they go with their queen, I think. Because this is just tempos all over the place, right? We still have queen e5 ideas. They go there. Okay, just c4 then. Just c4 and then c5. And then we've got really nice pawns here blocking their bishop. They go for that. Oh, that's silly. We just gave them a pawn. Yeah, that's very silly, actually. Why did I do that? I don't really know. Okay. Think about stuff now. Think about stuff. I don't want to give up my bishop pair. They can have the pawn. Last thing I want to do is give up my bishop pair. We'll go bishop e3. Just to cover the c2 square, I think. A6. Probably just bishop back this way. Think about a c5, maybe. They go knight there. I like that move. Queen b2, right? Queen b2, I like. Just hitting the rook. Making cheap threats. Sometimes that's all you need. Putting a bit of pressure on. We're thinking about this a-pawn potentially. They go rook there. That doesn't seem right. Go there. Check. For starters. And then the king moves again. We'll go rook ad1. Just to cut them off. We just drop back. They've got a nasty pin there. Pawn takes if pawn push. They've got problems. We have to worry slightly about g5. But I don't think there's anything they can really do immediately to punish it. I would like a bishop f4 potentially. I don't think we've got any real mating attacks going unless they overcommit. They go there. Now I want rook b1. I probably should have done rook b1 first time. There was no need to go d1, I think. Rook b1's threatening the pawn straight away. They have to deal with it. And then we can go like rook d1 or something. Oh. We can go rook b6. Oh, queen b6, sorry, and trade off this way. With even like rook takes, or bishop takes. Bishop takes. Bishop c5's a bit annoying. Thing is, if we get the queens off the board, we might be losing this bishop. I don't know. I've not had enough time to think about it all. There are so many consequences. We can take this with check. There. Okay, what's the position here? We're down a pawn. We're down a pawn. Their king's out of the game. We'll go rook b1. Check. Looks nice. 1 minute to save the world here, folks. Check. We can push a H pawn. Look for check there. We can look for this and win a pawn back. That seems fine. This is a bit of a threat. Not much of one. We'll go here. Just get some material back, hopefully. Try keep everything on a light square just to be tidy. They go for that. Ooh, that's huge. That's a huge threat for them. I think I go g4. I think I go g4. That's a bit insane. That's slightly insane, but I don't mind it at all. It was better to take the c-pawn as well, with the hit on the bishop. We have a passer. That's good news. We're going to try push our advantage somewhat, however much we can. I think that was probably smart. King g2 is necessary, I think. We'll go c5. Try annoy this bishop a bit. Go a7. Hit the pawn. They go there. Good move. Yeah, good move. We'll keep pushing the pawn. That's all we can do, really. We made a huge mistake here. Yeah, huge mistake. We might be losing this. We definitely are losing this, in fact. It's not good. Not good, to say the least. It's fine. We'll keep pushing our A pawn. Hope something magical happens. Or not. That's checkmate. We were up, and then we weren't up, I think. The A pawn was nice. We definitely made some oversights there with back rank mates. That sort of tied us down a bit in our defense. But that's the way it goes sometimes. I think it was a strange opening. I didn't really know what I was doing. But yeah, we just slowly kept sliding down. We made too much. Not too much. We used up too much of our time in the sort of late middle game, I think. Hesitant to take it into an end game. This is a strange move, bishop g4. Knight takes is usually the go-to if they play a strange move, which stands here. I'm guessing like a h3 then. Yeah. Yeah. But I decided to go h3 first. I was expecting like a queen d5 here. Is, I think, playable. G takes. I'm not going to take this either. Yeah, you want them to take and free up your A is the way to play it. This knight's good move as well. You know, queen a4. I think I need to stop going for. It looks nice and it looks like you're making threats on the king, but realistically, they're cheap threats. They're easily stopped. I think I need to stop playing c3 as well. c3 is a very tempting move to make because you're getting this very strong pawn chain. But I think more often than not, it limits your chances moving forward. So I think you either need to save it or just play d4. Queen g4, yeah, only move really. Like we said, this knight threat's not really doing anything, no matter what they do. Obviously, you can't go there. Yeah, you can't really go anywhere. It's not really. It's a nothing threat. It's a nothing threat. Queen g4. They're gonna castle or not. G3, G6 is apparently the move. I thought you could castle here. Is castling bad? I thought this is perfectly survivable. Is this not survivable? Ah, Queen e4. Nice. Nice, 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 nice. I like it. Yeah, so you probably have to just give up the exchange. So I'd take it back. G6, correct move. Correct move. H5, yeah, I liked. Queen e2. Castles was interesting. I thought they were going to do it. And go for this. I thought c4 here. C4's a miss, apparently, because of this line. What was it? Yeah, Queen e5. And then I thought, yeah, takes, bishop there. And then the follow-up. You know, there's a lot to sort of think about here. Rook takes, yeah. And then... Really? You take the bishop? I mean, bishop b4 sounds... Oh, because of the rook. Duh. That's quite nice. Yeah. Rook takes pawn is the better move. Insane. Insane. What is happening? I have no... Everything's under... Apparently, it's equal. Yeah, king takes, you take the rook. Queen takes. Rook b8, check. Oh, and you get that with tempo. Nice. Very nice. They decided to go for c5. I didn't like c5. This check is nice. Apparently, the better way to play it is to take the pawn first. And then I guess you can throw in the check. You don't even want the check, apparently. You keep hitting the queen. You keep hitting the queen. And then bishop check. Still c4. You keep making threats. Wait, but now your bishop's blocked off. So what do you do? Bishop c3. I don't even know. I guess you take these as pushable pawns with a queen endgame. This is extremely nasty. Queen d8, rook d1. How else do you stop that? Knight h7 is the way to play it. Oh, because you're not actually threatening anything. f6 is the threat. Yeah, really nice. Wow, that's a line and a half. That I like that. We threw in the check. King f8 is the best move. You go d8, you're asking for a checkmate. With this, you know, bishop takes, you know, rook a d8. I mean, it's already looking like stuff is happening. It's already looking like stuff is happening. c4 probably not a good move. Bishop a4. And then you have to go king c8. That's ridiculous. What other moves can you do? They're all king moves. Queen a5 is the only non-king move. But then c4. Not, yeah, because the threat on the bishop. King c7. You're asking for more king moves. It's insane. Yeah, king f8 is good. You're actually relatively safe here in this corner. I like it. D takes, yeah. Queen takes I thought was interesting. I thought bishop takes was nice. Making some threats at least. But apparently no, just b4. And then you're running out of squares. You're running out of squares, which is quite cool. So queen takes is right, yeah. Queen c7. Probably, yeah, best move. You don't want to go back and block in your rook, so c7 makes sense. You still have the diagonal as well. We kept pushing the pawns. Apparently, this is the best move. And this is a mistake. Why? Because of bishop takes? Bishop takes. Am I missing something? Oh, and you've got a fork on b2. Oh, man. Wow, 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 wow. Oh. Oh, well. Oh, well. Oh, well. I should have seen that. And we played queen b2 anyway. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. You know it's been a long day. You know it's been a long day. Yeah. This rook move is not... Like, there's no point to it. You're not stopping anything. A king g8 seems to work fine, I think. You know, I don't know what the best move is. Best move is apparently queen e5. Insane. Really like it. You know, this knight's doing just such a good job of covering this dark square bishop. It just works. We get the check. Nice. Rook d1. Yeah, I thought rook b1 slightly better than d1. But apparently the best move is bishop g7 for some reason. I don't know why. You know, there is no f6. I guess it's scared of g5. Which is what I was afraid of. G5 looks pretty scary, but bishop g7 is always still there. So, yeah. A6, bishop a4. And I'm really happy here. I thought we had a good position. Rook c8. We move back to b1. The rook goes back to b8, covering the pawn, rather than anything else. You can't mess around with this too much, otherwise these threats are going to get absolutely insane. This is borderline mating. And yeah, queen b6, trade off the queens, nice. And then apparently this is a huge mistake. Apparently this is a huge mistake. Best move. Why is this such a bad tactic? What? What? Oh! What? I don't know. I don't know. Because of... I don't know. It's a miss. It's a huge miss. Why is this such a deadly tactic? Bishop takes. Bishop takes? Oh, because it's a free pawn. Oh, and you get the fork that way. Nice. If they go this way, then you just take with the bishop, right? With check. No? Still a miss. Show follow-up. What's... Show follow-up. Bishop c... Oh, same thing. Duh, same thing. Anyway, we messed that tactic up for sure. I'm like, this isn't an ideal. We're down a pawn. Same colour bishop endgame. Their king's out in the open, but that could potentially even be an advantage in an endgame, especially with queens off the board. We make some threats. I thought we'd potentially get some material back here, but I completely forgot. While we have moved a pawn, their bishop's being so annoying and creating back rank threats, which is really, really annoying. Rook b8 forces the rooks off. I came up with this idea not to, because I think we lose if the rooks come off. G4 with the idea of clearing a space so we can take this pawn. And it is better to take the c pawn by a mile. I'm not sure why I didn't, to be honest. Way better to take the c pawn because you have the threat of on the bishop as well. You know, the bishop has to do something. Where it goes, I'm not quite sure. And then you take the a pawn, and all of a sudden, you know, while their king's nice against you, 2 versus 4, against a very active king, these pawns are potentially quite fast, so they've got to be careful. Rook c8. We should have moved out the way earlier. We started pushing this pawn, but we're just not in a position to push the pawn, I don't think. If anything, it's limiting our squares that we could be using. Obviously not a3 at the minute because of the bishop, but yeah. And we should have moved king g2 at some point as well. Really, really should have. And then, yeah, king f1's stupid because we went to f1 just to go back to g1 and up to h2. Like, what's the point? What's the point? We sacked the bishop for some reason as well, even though it is mating apparently. Why is this why is d8 mating and b8 not? That's confusing. Anyway, we lost. We lost. Good and proper. That was a fun game though. I did enjoy that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Please like if you liked. Please subscribe if you really liked. And I'll catch you guys all tomorrow. Bye-bye.